I kind of just felt like picking up the camera and recording this, but like I've also had a bit of like a throwaway thought that's been reoccurring to me for the last couple of days. I kind of just wanted to throw out there. So I would say, like, well, let me just start off with the question, I guess. What's really like your definition of like fuck you money? Because at first I thought it was more so just like something where you could just don't have to look at the price tag, and something that like where it's like you don't even look at your bank account anymore, like to see if you can even afford to go to the fucking movies nowadays, or even get something to eat, to have food. Like, that shit is crazy that we have to do shit like that nowadays. No, I was thinking more about it, and I was just literally like, the definition is like middle finger to your face. Like, I don't give a fuck. But like, I've started to kind of, also sorry if the audio is horrible. I know usually when I'm driving my car, the phone picks up a lot of stuff. I'm about to be back home, so bear with me here. But yeah, I was thinking more so like, oh, that's like, it's not even like a figure for real, because the idea of fuck you money is that you don't have to put a figure on it. You could literally just, again, middle finger up, not have to think about what the hell you're doing at any given time, because there's no worries. It's a Hakuna Matata. Like, so I started to think about it a little bit more over the past couple of days, and I started to realize that it's a little bit more than just that. I think everyone's idea of fuck you money could be a little bit different, because if you just think of the baseline, like, oh, it's like, oh, having 100+ million in the bank account, like, I mean, yeah, of course that's fuck you money, right? But I was thinking more so like, you could, what's like the blueprint to have fuck you money? Like, what's that layout look like for you in your life? And for me, it was more so like this figure that I had about like 3 or 4 years ago in my head, where I was thinking that, let's just say I got to, this has always been my hypothetical about 3 years ago. I had this hypothetical played out in my head perfectly. It's like, I could retire off this amount, and that would be my idea of fuck you money, right? Or at least I've come around to the idea of that being my idea of fuck you money. It's because now I don't have to answer to anybody. Whoops. Put that back up. Whoopsies. Silly me. So, here's the figure I was thinking. I was thinking you do, back then I thought 4 million, but now you got a steady rate of inflation. I thought of more so now it's 5, or maybe anywhere from like 5 to 8. I would be more than happy with. Because like, realistically, I don't think billionaires should exist. I'm not like hyper left or nothing like that, or hyper right. I fucking hate both of them. But I will say this, I don't think billionaires should exist. The fact that you should even have a net worth of, personal net worth of past even $100 million, it still sounds fucking ludicrous to me. But like, that would be my personal limit. If I was running the government or running the world or something, I would say no man should have no more than, or no human on this earth should have no more than $100 million of personal net worth. Meaning you own a couple mansions and a couple nice cars and a little bit of something else, like a business. I think that should be the only circumstances in which and even then, 100 million still sounds a little greedy, like, you know what I mean? But back to the example at hand, 5 million. So if I had 5 million, let's just say tucked away in the stock market, let's say like an S&P 500 or an index fund or something that gives me an annual return of around, I think they say usually like the stock market usually gives you like a return of 8 to 10% every year. Which, I mean, in the last couple of years, you look at that Dow Jones, it's like, god damn. What's it called? Yeah, steady rate of inflation. I adjusted for 4% every year, because I know that no matter what, I'm probably gonna at least get 4% on my return. So let's say 5 million. 4% of $5 million is $200,000 in capital gains. If your $5 million is making you $200,000, that means you could pay yourself an annual salary. Someone's annual salary. Someone who's up there, like a manager or something's annual salary. A good manager at that. Because if you getting paid $200,000 at that point, you just running the show, or getting close to running the show. So I'm thinking 4% of 5 million. I could live off 4% off of 5 million for the rest of my life. I don't know about you guys, but a $200,000 salary sounds like I could live comfortably and do just about anything I want. Especially if I don't have to work to do it. Why wouldn't you? Like, I mean, obviously the stock market works a little bit more complicated than just, oh yeah, put your money in the stock market and it's going to give you money back. But I mean, that's practically how it's been for the last like 2 or 3 decades. So, I mean, I don't know, you tell me. Or if I just had something that was generated, it doesn't even have to be the stock market. I just say the stock market is the easiest example because, I mean, like, it's easy to be rich once you're rich. You just got to know how to keep being rich, which doesn't sound very hard, especially if your money just makes money for you. But yeah, that was always like my retirement plan, if you will, which again, just my idea of fuck you money is literally just me paying myself a comfortable living wage, which, I mean, more than comfortable living wage at that point. $200,000? Are you fucking kidding me? And then because of the fact that I'm getting that money off of the stock market or some other way, some other asset that is just generating me income, that means I technically don't have to answer to anybody. That, in my opinion, is the real fuck you in that money. Because a lot of people can have fuck you money, but they still have to go kiss someone's ass at the end of the day. They have to go lick someone's boot, you know what I mean? I'm talking about like the money that you know that you could get and it's only reliant on yourself. Like, that's why I say you're only reliant on yourself to get the money that you need, not an external factor like a job. Like, no matter what, if you have a job, that means you have to kiss someone's ass, or you always have to lick a boot or something, or you have to do something in order to get a paycheck. I'm simply talking about the means in which you don't have to do anything to get your paycheck. And the only way that you secure your paycheck is through you. So I would say $5 million a year off of 4%, which is $200,000. Live like that, like a king, anywhere in the world too. You can go anywhere in the world off a $200,000 salary, especially if you don't have to. Only thing you have to do is pay rent. You probably own your car at that point. Yeah, pay rent and keep the lights on. Like, that's practically all you'd have to do at that point. Because, I mean, if I got $4 or $5 million stashed away in the stock market or something, or somewhere that's generating me money for free, I've already won the game. You know what I mean? In my opinion, I've already won the game. Now, obviously, I could not stop working and keep going, but, I mean, that's a pretty good retirement if you ask me. Like, I'm not trying to be one of those people that work to innovate, to create a fucking new robot, new rocket ship, like Elon trying to change the damn world or nothing. Like, it was never really my goal to change the world, because that's a futile attempt. You can never truly change the entire world. You can only mainly leave your mark on it, and then other people will tend to change stuff. Like, stuff gets changed over time. You can't just, or I shouldn't say you can't. You can change things in the world, but it's like, again, the things you have to do to get there, it's not worth it. It's like your level of sacrifice and compromise on your humanity and things like that, it's not worth it. That's a whole different side tangent for a completely different topic. Yeah, no, I like to try and I want to try to get crystal clear on that, especially since now I have a little bit more of like a drive, I would say, to like actually do something with my life to a degree now that circumstances have changed. So I want to get more concrete on like, hey, in order to live out the rest of my life, especially with the people that I know and love and consider my friends, family, or lovers, what would be the perfect amount? And I've always said this to myself 3-4 years ago: 5 million, 4% of 5 million for the rest of my life. And even let's say I had 5 million in a savings account. Let's just say it wasn't even making money. 4% of 5 million, what? What's 4 times? So I still, even if I paid myself $200,000 every single year, it would still take me a little over 20 years to deplete that bank account, because I'm thinking 10 every year is 4%. So you do that times 10, it's 40%. Another 10 is 40%. So that's 80% of that money is gone after 20 years. That's if I never decide to put that money towards a wealth generating asset. I could still live off 200K for the rest of, 20 more years of my life. That still sounds like an amazing thing to do. Like, what's 80% of 5 million? I think I'll have a little less than 1 million left. Yeah, somewhere around there. And even then, like, after I deplete 80%, I'll still live off what, like a little less than 1 million? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was if I decided to stop working and everything like that, obviously. But that's what I'm saying. Like, what's your definition of, like, fuck you money? You could live off 5,200,000 for 20 years if you even put it in a savings account and still have a really good life. You know what I mean? Like, the whole goal isn't to try and, like, live out this super extravagant lifestyle that you're trying to keep up with the Joneses in Hollywood at that point. The point is to be able to just live a life where you don't have to answer to anybody, and you can call, and you can live in a place or own things that you can call own things you can call your own. For the first off, that's a massive battle in its own right. But also just be comfortable living. Like, you're not waking up every day worrying about what you're going to be able to do and not be able to do the next day. That is when I think you start to be able to get you closer towards your goal of fuck you money. Because no matter what, annoying as it is to say that our lives are dedicated to a piece of paper that doesn't even really exist, that, like, money is not a real thing. Money is not real. We have to play that stupid game in order to survive. And that's just the reality of it, right? As unfortunate as it is. So if I'm going to play it, I'd rather have it mapped out in my head. Like, where's the goal? Where am I going to? I want to just be able to do the things that I want to do. Hell, I need to figure out more things I want to do with that money than to how the fuck I'm even going to get that money in the first place. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if you get there to the top and then you have no one to enjoy it with, or anything to do to enjoy it with, then what do you do? Like, what was the point of you getting all that money? Sorry, see, going off different tangents. Get concrete on your idea of what it means to have fuck you money. Because for me, it means not answering to anybody, having the money created by yourself, or having something in an asset that is creating that money for you by yourself. Being completely and totally reliant on yourself and not having to look much at a price tag. Or outside of not just having to look outside of a price tag, because I think that's everyone's definition, baseline definition. Like, duh, you want to not be able to look at a price tag, but, like, also think about I see my fuck you money as, like, retirement, essentially. Like, you can really change, like, I was gonna say the idea, or the title of this video is like, what's your idea of fuck you money, or some shit like that. But realistically, I could also make it like, what is your retirement plan? Because I mean, to me, so far, that sounds like a pretty solid retirement plan that I got. But obviously, things are bound to change. I'm probably not gonna have just 5 million in the stock market. I might have some in a house, some in the stock market, some in a business or like something that's generating me money to make more money. And a lot of those things seem more feasible or like in reach now. So I just got to keep building, got to keep moving, got to keep shining, got to keep grooving. And I think things will be all right, So I can only hope that you try to make a roadmap towards a similar goal so that you can build out your own assets. Because I ain't got much time on this earth, but might as well make it worth living.